Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to the episode of my weekly playlist series. It's Friday, so that means it's time for me to share with you guys the games I've been playing during the week. I'll let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on them, whether I think you guys should play them or not. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on them, if you have played these games or not. I'd also like to hear about the games you guys are playing, as that has given me some great ideas on games to check out, so I really appreciate when you guys let me know the games you're playing. I also appreciate anybody who has any suggestions on games you think I should check out, as you guys have suggested some really good titles, and I really do appreciate it. And this game I'm going to share with you guys this week has actually been recommended to me by my good buddy Dean, and I've been having a blast with it. Now, I only have one game to share with you guys, as I have not had a whole lot of time for gaming this week, as I have been putting in overtime at work. I've been really busy there and short-staffed, so I've been putting in extra hours. And then on my days off, I've been actually hanging out with a buddy, doing some game hunting, and then just, you know, going out and doing some other stuff. So I haven't had a whole lot of time for gaming, but this one game, though, I have put in a few hours the past few nights, and so that's what we're going to talk about here, and that is Cloudpunk, which I'm continuing my work on this that I had done, started last week and continuing in this week. And it's going to probably be another week or two just because of my time constraints, but I really am enjoying this game. Highly recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're a fan of cyberpunk games like I am, because this is a cyberpunk game set, you know, in the cyberpunk universe. The graphics on it, though, however, are nothing like a Cyberpunk 2077 or any high definition graphics, anything like that. They are what I would say considered a like Lego type graphics, or Minecraft, where they're kind of blocking 8-bit. Well, that's the style that they were going for, and it still does look really, really good. So, you play as a main character called Rania, and she had just moved to this big, sprawling city that's called Nivalis, where basically the whole world is kind of messed up, you know. Humanity's kind of destroyed a bunch of stuff, and so this is very much one of the only real big cities that are left in existence. And that's where you move into. You had lived off like in an eastern peninsula area, like a farming community and stuff, and you end up you lost your house and all your possessions and had to sell everything, and so you moved to Nivalis so you could rebuild your life. So I'll read you guys the back here. So it says, don't miss a delivery, don't ask what's in the package. Your name is Rania. This is your first night working for Cloudpunk, the semi-legal delivery company based in the sprawling city of Nivalis. So, you start at the game where you're working for this company called Cloudpunk, and they are a delivery service, and they're ones that they don't ask any questions of their clients. You know, they don't want you to ask what's in the package. You know, they just expect you to take the package and deliver it without any questions at all. Whether it's legal or not legal stuff, you know, they don't want you to pay attention to that. And so that's where the story takes place, and it's actually pretty fun game. Really enjoying it, because you can fly around in your hover vehicles, because this city actually has multi-tiered levels where there are some built on the ground, but there's also buildings that are way up in the air. So it's really cool. There's different layers to the city, and there's all kinds of cool futuristic hover vehicles that are flying around, and the city is structured in different layers and stuff, and it's just really cool. So your vehicle, you know, start out with really basic, but you can upgrade it as you earn money by doing deliveries. And it does have a really cool and really interesting story to go through, but you also have side things that you can do. You have stuff that you can collect as well. And what I really like is that everything that you can find is actually on the map, and you can actually bring it with the map screen by hitting the left on the D-pad, and that'll show you where everything is. And all the collectibles have little icons on the map so that you know where they're actually located at, and so you can actually go and find them, because there are different missions and side quests and stuff that require to collect a certain number of stuff, like punch cards or trading cards or something like that. And you can actually go around and collect everything in the various maps. So the city is broken up into several different sectors, and you have these little tunnels that you go into, and then it transitions you into the next part of the city. And above where it's at, it actually tells you what area you're going to go into. Like maybe you're going to go into Old Town. There's like one part of the city where the sewers are at, stuff like that. You know, you can actually go to the different sections, so it is broke up into different maps. I think there's like maybe 8 or 9 total sections to go through, and then there's all kinds of different areas that you can get out on foot. So what's really cool is now when you're flying, it's in third person, but when you get on the ground, you can be in third person, or you can actually get in the first person mode and look around the city, which I do like playing in first person. They did release a update for the PC version of this, so you can fly in third person, and that looks really cool. They had talked about possibly bringing it to the consoles at some point, but they just don't know when. So unfortunately you can't fly your vehicle in first person in the consoles, but you can at least in when you're on foot, which is really cool, because there are a lot of sections where you have to get out of your vehicle and walk around. There's all kinds of different like little elevators and like switches to hit. They actually have these really cool kind of like transporter things where you get into, it's a blue, and it'll transport you to a different part of the map. So that's something that's really cool. There's a variety of characters you'll run into, and since this is a cyberpunk setting, you know, everybody here in this world is all about having cybernetic implants in their bodies, and whether they've augmented their minds or they've augmented their eyes to see better, or they did stuff to their body, have better arms or legs or hands, whatever, you know, everybody's obsessed with being augmented and having enhancements to themselves. And of course with that, you know, that brings dangerous stuff and criminals, and just, you know, having a government and corporations and stuff that basically own you and your life, because they're the ones producing the parts and stuff. And so you have different tiered levels of society, which is, you know, an interesting, you know, aspect of the game, because you have people who are like the elites that literally live in the top part of the city, and then all the way in the bottom in the slums are where the lower class citizens live. And so based on your social status in the society, you know, depends on what level in the city you live at. And so the people at the very top don't like the people at the bottom and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Really enjoying the story. It's really fun. This has phenomenal music though. Just amazing music to listen to as you're flying around or out on foot and stuff. And sometimes, you know, it's just, you know, it's a soundtrack that you could just listen to even outside of the game. It's just done really well. It has great voice acting. Like I said, now the character models obviously don't look that good because they kind of look like 8-bit Lego people, but I mean, it just has a fun story, and the buildings do look really good. It looks really bright and vibrant because this takes place at nighttime, and so the city really does shine here at night. And when you do interact with characters, you actually do get to see a little image of what the character looks like, and they look completely different than what their little Lego version of them looks. But you know, it shouldn't hinder you at all. I know some people had mentioned in my last video that they weren't really too keen on hearing about the graphics of it, but it's definitely a title I think you guys should give a chance to. It's just really fun. So you have different choices that you can make throughout the game. Some of the missions will have 2 different choices you can do, and it does affect stuff. I've heard that there is more than one ending, so that's something that's really cool. And all kinds of things, you know, like I mentioned, that you can do to collect. You have your main missions to go through the main story, but then you also have side missions that you can go through as well, which is really cool. So I've been looking for stuff like that, been exploring the map, and looking to earn money so I can buy upgrades, because you can actually upgrade your hover vehicle, because it's a hover vehicle, and you can upgrade it so it's faster, and it can descend and lower faster and go up, and affected the body to make it stronger, because you can actually get your vehicle damaged, and the more damage it takes, it starts smoking and gets really slow, so you can find repair stations to repair it. I didn't even realize that there's actually a gas meter in this game, and you actually have to fuel your car at little fuel stations, and it does cost money to fuel it up. So I didn't even realize there was that until I saw a gauge going low and saying, hey, you need to get fuel so you don't run out. And so I actually had to get some fuel for it. It's cool. You do have a apartment that your character moves into, and you can actually buy the little upgrades and stuff, like a fish tank and stuff like that. And there are several different achievements tied to different things by doing certain side missions and like upgrading your hover vehicle. You actually can get later on in the game, you actually can get other hover vehicles. So that's really cool. You can upgrade to better ones that work faster and stuff. And then of course, like I said, you have that main story to go through, which I'm just having a blast with it, and I'm looking forward to beating this. There was no strategy guide made for this game, obviously, but there are different guides out there, and I definitely recommend checking them out if you don't want to miss stuff, because there are some things you can miss if you don't know where to look for stuff or where to get side missions. You can miss them. But if you do beat the game, though, you beat through the main story, you can actually go back and mop up all of the side stuff that you missed, which is nice. So the game continues, and you can just keep playing in free mode, just running around and mop up side missions. So that's something that's really cool. But there are a few things where if you don't do a certain choice or something, you actually won't unlock a certain achievement, or you might not unlock a certain thing later in the game. So sometimes your choices do have consequences, so you can look that up. But if you want to have just that blind playthrough, you can just go through without the any kind of guide around. But there are some good guides online that I would recommend checking out. There's a couple I've been checking out, but I've been having a lot of fun with this. I'm so glad that Dean recommended it to me. I got this for like $8 on GameFly, and I'm having an absolute blast with it. Definitely recommend you guys check out Cloudpunk for either the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 or the PC or even Nintendo Switch. It's just a really, really fun game, and I'm having a blast with it. And I really do like the graphics on it, even though, like I said, it's a Lego style. I like those Lego style games. So for me, this is basically like Lego Cyberpunk game, and it's just done really well. Phenomenal music, and just a really good title. I think you guys should check out. Normally, I would do a recap, but since I only got the one game this week, definitely check out Cloudpunk. I think you guys will be surprised. And if you like Cyberpunk games, definitely give it a try out. I think you guys will enjoy it. It is a fun game. I'd like to hear about the games you guys have been playing lately, and if you have any recommendations on a game you think I should check out, let me know, as you guys always do recommend really fun titles. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, have a great day, and Sleepy will see you guys next time.